Hey guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel. I hope you've all been having a very happy and productive week. And if you're new, then welcome to the Jessica fam. Make sure you subscribe down below and turn on notifications. And before we get into today's video, let's just take a second because something's a little different. I know, I got new glasses. So my obsession is growing, it's getting worse, but I'm so excited to show you the glasses that I bought. So I got these ones that I'm wearing and I actually got a second pair. Got these bad boys. I'm gonna try them on for you guys. Bam! I really wanted a pink pair. I think glasses are accessories for your face. So I just wanted to embrace my quirkiness and go for something a little bit different this time. So I got a more traditional kind of tortoise shell framed pair, and then I thought, I'm gonna go for something pretty different. So comment below which is your favorite pair, and I'm kind of feeling the brown ones today, so I think I'm gonna swap back. Ta-da! Also, these are from Oscar Wiley. I'm gonna link their website down below because for all of you guys that also wear glasses, if you're looking for another pair or you wanna be glasses buddies, then check them out. Alright, on to today's video though. I am going to show you, it's a mix between my after school routine and my top tips for how to be productive after school. So as you guys know, I don't go to school anymore. I'm grown up now, but I wanted to share with you guys how to be your most productive selves after a busy school day when you've still got a lot of homework and assignments you have to catch up on. So I hope you guys find today's video helpful, and if you do, thumbs up to let me know. Okay guys, let's get into today's video and let's start with tip number 1, which is my favorite because it involves food. Okay, so the first thing you guys need to be mindful of is that after a busy school day or a busy day at college or university, you're gonna be a little bit tired. So when you get home, take a little bit of time to make a snack, eat something to refuel your body, give yourself that energy boost that you need. And something really easy is to actually leave some ready-made snacks in the fridge. So earlier this week, I made my protein bliss balls, love them. So they're cacao and peanut butter bliss balls, and they're high in protein and all the good fats, and they just give me a bit of an energy boost. So even though I'm not at school anymore, I would typically make something like this and eat them when I'd get home. Or I might have some cut up fresh fruit, or even make a smoothie. I was always very hungry the second that I got home from school because it was about 4:30, 5 o'clock. So if you guys know what I mean and you can empathize here and you also feel a little bit sluggish after school or after a busy day, then I definitely recommend that the first thing you do is actually eat something. Okay, now the next thing I would typically do after a busy school or uni day was to set aside another 30 minutes just for myself to chill out. Because your brain has been going non-stop from around 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning at school, and you actually need to allow yourself just a little bit of time off. So if you think about it, having a bit of a healthy snack is going to give you an energy boost, but then slowing down for even just 30 minutes after a busy day is going to allow your brain to focus better when you actually sit down to your desk to do all of your work. So of course, you can just put your feet up and watch a TV show. You might want to go for a walk or go for a run in the park. You might want to play with your pets or even just ring a friend and chat on the phone. So just do something that's going to help you feel re-energized and make sure that you are setting aside some much needed me time. Okay, now on to being productive. It's really important that you have a clean and tidy workspace. So if you can, at the end of every night when you've finished your study sessions, make sure to tidy up and leave it as organized as possible so that when you do sit down to work again the following day after school, there's not going to be a whole ton of distractions, there's not going to be mess, and it's going to be a much more inviting study space. So typically, if my desk wasn't exactly study friendly, I would set aside just about 5 or 10 minutes at the start of my study sessions in the afternoon just to tidy things up and make sure that there was enough room for me to spread out my notes when I needed to. Now the next thing usually applies to those warmer months in Australia, but I would try and make myself a refreshing drink, and I also would try and sit near a window that was open because if you are trying to study and you've had a really busy and productive day at school or uni, it can be a little easy to lose focus and get distracted. So having fresh air, having a cold drink, making an iced tea or something quite zesty like a lemonade can definitely help you to feel more focused and allow you to get more done as well. Now my go-to refreshing beverage is a fruit-infused ice water. So typically I would just chop up any fruit that I have lying around the house. Sometimes it would be slices of orange or lemon and lime. Berries are really good to add as well, and even some sliced up apple or pear. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to say was probably not really an issue for me at school, but it kind of became an issue when I was at uni, which is social media. So believe it or not, we did have Facebook when I was in high school, but Instagram, Twitter, that stuff was just not around. So there were a lot less temptations. But I will say that I did definitely try and avoid going on my phone in the afternoons. If I was going to check my phone, it could be on the bus on the way home from school, or even when I got home in those first 30 minutes when I had my me time or unwinding time. But definitely guys, try and avoid going on your phone and on social media, especially if you haven't even started working. Trust me, those 15 minutes on Instagram are going to turn into 3 hours on Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, YouTube, you name it. Of course, there is a time and a place, so perhaps you can use this as something you can do during your study breaks, or actually try and put off going on social media till you've done all of your work and you can actually afford to just relax and unwind and it's the end of the evening. Okay, now the first thing that I would do when I'd sit down to do my work was actually check what homework I had for that night. So when I was in school and also at uni, I would always write down my homework and any tasks I had or any reminders that my lecturers would give me during class the second I got them, so that when I would get home, I'd just open up my diary or planner and I knew exactly what I had to do. And if you guys have a homework planner, then you can also write all of your homework down in that. I know some of you guys have already got my homework planner from Seated Educationary, my stationery line. I will link that down below and you guys can check it out and also sign up to be one of my VIP study buddies. It's free and you get a $10 voucher when you sign up too, so definitely go do that. But yes, make sure that your homework is written down. When it's written down, you're much more likely to commit to it and actually get it done. So this is something I would always make sure that I would do when I was studying. Now for all of you guys that have a ton of to-dos or an ever-expanding list of to-dos in the afternoon when you get home from a busy school day, I do have a tip for you guys. So I find that I'm much more productive, and I actually figured this out by reading a book called Work Smarter, Live Better by Cyril Papillon. I will leave a link to that in the description box too. But this book was saying that instead of having a long list of to-dos and trying to work through them whenever you have a bit of time, you actually need to allocate a specific amount of time and batch them together. So any task that will take you under 5 or 10 minutes, try and do all of them in one go. So you might want to set aside the first 30 minutes of your study time when you get home to do all of those tasks, or you might even want to just allocate a particular time in the afternoon in between revising for different subjects or completing your homework and getting them out of the way. It's a lot less overwhelming when you've actually scheduled it into your planner and you batch them all together. And personally, I like to do them right away, and I didn't actually do this when I was at school because I didn't know about this, but I wanted to share this tip with you guys because I have found it really beneficial and I'm much more productive when I do this as well. If you have to-dos such as taking the dog for a walk or cleaning up after your pets, or remembering to return a book to your local library, anything like that, even signing different documents for school such as for excursions, anything that's going to take you under 5 or 10 minutes, just try and get it all out of the way, and your mind is going to be able to focus on all the other work you want to be doing, and it's not going to get as distracted either. Now, one thing I wanted to share with you guys, which always helped me get into the work mindset and be more productive, was to start with an easier task or a task that I would find most enjoyable. So for example, if I was trying to revise for a biology exam, then something that I really enjoyed doing was making flashcards with little illustrations. And I don't know why, but I just found making flashcards really fun. I also really enjoyed doing mind maps, anything to do with drawing and color and being more creative. And I found that that actually really did get me into the study zone or the work mode. So if you guys are finding it hard to be productive because you don't really know where to start, or you just lack the motivation to start your homework when you get home, try opting for an easier task or a task that you actually enjoy more than the rest of them, and it actually will help you get into that study mindset. So that's a tip and something I always would make sure that I would do, especially on days where I just really didn't feel like doing my work. Another way that I would be very productive after school was to study smart, not hard. So even though you guys might have a lot of work to be doing, it's all about your approach to your studies, which is going to make you a lot more productive and a lot more efficient. So for example, if you have a bunch of different tests to revise for, then think about the kind of approaches that are going to be most effective for you. Do you want to rely more on visual techniques, such as if you're studying for biology and there are a lot of diagrams you have to include and learn and understand? Or maybe you're revising for a psychology exam which has a ton of definitions, and in that case, you might want to try out something like using a mnemonic or different poems. So make sure that you're actually thinking about the techniques that you're using to study and not just reading through your notes over and over again. Again, being productive is actually not just about how long you're studying for, but how much you're able to get done in a particular time frame. So I've always found that using a range of different techniques when I would get home to study for different subjects was very useful for me. And I did do a video all about the 4 kinds of learning styles and different techniques that you guys might want to try out. I've also got a blog post on my Seated Educationary website, so I'll link that down below, and I think it's called the 4 learning styles or the 4 study techniques. So make sure to check that out too, because I feel like this video will just get way too long if I go through all of that all over again. But yes, make sure you check it out, because honestly, I think it'll help you guys be a lot more productive as well. And then one more way that you guys can be productive after school, and this is something that I started doing when I was getting into around year 11 and 12, especially when the workload was a lot higher, was to try and multitask. And I don't mean multitask like try and study for a biology test and at the same time plan out your English essay, because the quality of your work is not going to be at its highest. But for example, if you have to unload the dishwasher at home and do some chores around the house, but you also want to listen to your lectures from uni, then you could actually play your lectures whilst doing the dishwasher or whilst tidying your bedroom. So I've always found that if it's a physical task I have to do around the house, then it's much more effective to pair it with an auditory revision technique. So definitely try something out like that. Or you might have even wanted to do something as simple as painting your nails or even having a bath. And they actually provide you with some really easy opportunities to revise and get more work done. So you might want to listen to one of your lectures at that point. You might even want to record some of your notes and then play it back and listen to it. Or you might even want to listen to one of your class texts by using audiobooks. So if you guys found my how to be productive after school / after school routine helpful, then thumbs up this video to let me know. And also comment below what was your favorite tip or part of this video too. Also guys, I will leave a couple links to my stationery line as well as my blog posts down below, so check them out. And I'll also make some previous videos clickable as cards up over here. And if you guys wanted some more tips on how to be productive after school, how to be more organized, how to study more effectively and efficiently, then check out my study skills book, The High School Survival Guide. It is available in leading book retailers and also on websites like Amazon and Booktopia, Book Depository, so definitely check it out. All of the tips are actually applicable to students of all ages, but most of those tips should actually start being implemented in high school, which is grade 7 when you're about 12 years old in Australia. I hope you all have a very happy and productive week, and I'll see you guys next week. Love you guys. Bye.